Transferred in from Duquesne. There's Shea Chesky getting ready to cheer her team on. You got to do what you can do if you're not in uniform.
So we're underway. Indiana winning the tip in their black uniforms at 14-11, 3-10 in conference play, riding a 3-game win streak. USC 15-9, 7-6. They've won 4 straight.
USC got that win streak started against Iowa here in the Galen Center, a phenomenal top 10 win.
Boy, that really kind of righted the ship. A lot of folks were wondering what's wrong with USC. Will they make the NCAA tournament? And boom, they win that game against Iowa, and they haven't looked back. The runner, just like that, Davidson on the board.
The natural southpaw, when she puts that ball on the left side and gets a step on her defender, she can be so creative. That time going off the window.
Front runner for Freshman of the Year, without a doubt. 5-time Freshman of the Week honoree, Jazzy Davidson. Kiaku all the way to the cup. Boy, I just love the fact that Noyan was right there on the weak side to grab that carom. She'll go to the line.
Well, for Journey Kiaku, that's a good take to the rim. Couldn't go down, but they need her to be aggressive. You are missing 24 points from Shea Chesky, and you're missing almost 12 points per game from Zania Soka-Guman. So they need points somehow generated. This is a very good three-point shooting team for Indiana, but I think for Journey Kiaku, she can provide some of that penetration into the lane.
Nice job by Noyan. Hit both of them. So we're knotted at 2 apiece. That foul, by the way, went against London Jones. You got to stay in it early if you're Indiana. Makaleski with that foul. Good look at Terry Morin. 12th year, 23rd year overall. 459 career wins all told, and all-time winningest at Indiana.
7 trips to the NCAA tournament in a row as London Jones hits the triple.
Morin, an Elite 8, 3 Sweet 16s, 2-time Big Ten Conference Coach of the Year. And it's been an interesting season, a trying season for Terry and this Indiana bunch, starting the conference at 0-10. That's never happened to her, obviously, but they've bounced back nicely.
Yeah, well, it's been an unlucky season in some ways for Indiana. They're very young as well, but you know, the 3-game winning streak for the Hoosiers, it's just such a bad break. They're missing 2 of their 3 leading scorers today against USC. And I was looking forward to seeing Shea Chesky.
Oh man, are you kidding?
She is just, it's an incredible season that she has been having. One of those that's in the MVP consideration, I think, for the Big Ten Conference. I talked to Terry Morin about that, and she said, yeah, there's no question that what she's doing individually is special. And if the team were winning more games, it'd be no question. See some of those numbers.
We'll go back to those because she is in rare air elite company. Last foul, by the way, on Indiana was against Caffey, her first, team second. It's a 5-2 Trojan lead. Noyan looking for it right back on the roll, not there. 6 on the shot clock. Stepping out of bounds, just unlucky for Indiana, will go the other way. All right, I want those numbers. Break it down, partner.
Well, it's just incredible that it is such a rare feat to have 50% from the floor, over 40% from 3. She's nearly 50%.
My goodness.
And then 90% from the line. It is a special season, but if she were to finish this season with those numbers at 24 points per game, it would be the most points ever in a 50, 40, 90 season. It's not just efficiency, but it is volume.
Kiaku picks up that foul, her first, team's third. I mean, you talk about, and at some point, you know, we got to move on, but I want folks to understand, 7 30-point games, 17 20-point games, coming off a near triple-double against Purdue with 29, 12, and 8. She will hit trays in bundles. She will score in bunches. So, yes, we'll move on, but what is sitting on that bench tonight, it breaks your heart if you're an Indiana fan.
No, yeah, there's no question. And again, it's going to be a day-to-day situation. She went out, she warmed up today, couldn't move laterally because of rolling her ankle in shoot-around. But when she's a player that's got aspirations to play at the next level and the amount of work that she's put in, there's no question you can see that hard work paying off.
Stepping into the three and scoring. Makaleski, wow.
Yeah, good size for her, stretching the floor at 6'3". She is just a freshman. That is three-pointer number 43 on the season.
Just a freshman, local kid out of Indiana. Good defense inside. Morin keeps them home, that is for sure. She does a great job of keeping Miss Indiana basketball home. Makaleski, one of those.
Now let's go on women's scoring, 25, Kara Dunn.
So Dunn picks up that foul, her first. Good look at Lindsey Gottlieb in her 5th year at USC. Last year's Big Ten Coach of the Year, fastest to 100 wins at USC, bringing her back into the fold collegiately, huge.
Talk about some bad luck. She certainly is missing arguably the best player in the nation, Juju Watkins, sitting over there on the side. But USC is still putting together a top 20 net season here in her absence.
Beaumont with the nice finish at the rim. Indiana's getting some good looks inside to complement a couple of good triples from deep. 7 apiece. Nice step inside. Good pick by Beaumont. Look out, that ball's up for grabs. Beaumont, hawked by Jones. Caffey switches hands. Nifty play.
Wow, it is not often that you are going to lose Davidson off of the dribble. That is exactly what happened. Great take.
And Indiana, after starting cold, has now heated up and takes the 2-point lead as Caffey picks up her second.
Nevaeh Caffey, just a freshman, but good size at 5'10". That time showing off her speed, the explosiveness for the blow-by drive against Davidson.
Unfortunate, though, Caffey coming off consecutive double-figure games, has to sit now, Elise, with the 2 fouls.
And Indiana just already lacking depth with the 2 injuries. That is something she may have to come back in here and play with 2 personals.
Stotine checking in for Indiana. It's a 9-7 Hoosier lead, 5:05 left to go in the first. Jones, did she travel?
Yep.
All right,
good
so
start for Indiana on the road.
You're reading my mind. What do you like about them?
Without their 2 of their 3 leading scorers. Well, I think right now, you saw USC go through their scouting report today. They're going to have to adjust their game plan without Shea Chesky on the floor. And so right now you can just feel the 2 teams kind of figuring out what are we going to do now that you rip the scouting report up and throw it in the trash.
Good defense had inside. Makaleski to her keister. Davidson wanted it back instead in the corner. Whistle away from the ball. Take a quick break. It's an early 9-7 Indiana lead.
And while they're fighting to get into the Big Ten tournament, at this point sitting at 14th in the standings, I think for them this recent stretch of 3 wins in a row, they played some teams really tough losses where they were close, and just a gauntlet of a Big Ten this year.
Rosha Tite, 1 of 2, checking in this young Indiana club. And if they're not freshmen and sophomore, they're newcomers or coming off injuries. Just a plethora of young pups and new faces. 9-8, Hoosiers with the lead, dumping it inside. Long ball, and it is true for Kiaku.
A really nice start getting the start today in place of Shea Chesky, and she's looked very composed. She's a player that put up big numbers at Duquesne as a junior last year, 13 points per game, so she is capable.
Davidson tees it up, back rim and off. Good job, one and done on the defensive boards for Indiana. So Terry Morin keeping Kyaku in with the 2 fouls. Remember, Caffey's got 2 fouls as well. Fading back, kind roll, Stotine, and Indiana keeps her going.
Transfer from Arkansas, grew up in Amsterdam. Phoenix Stotine coming on and making her first shot of the game. And it always boosts your confidence when that first shot goes in the bucket.
She averages 2 points a game. She's at 2, off and running. The deuce for Kyaku.
Boy, she was shot out of a cannon.
I guess.
In no time, just an explosive move up the court. Nobody was catching her.
14-1. Indiana run. Remember, no Chesky. Rolled her ankle earlier in shoot-arounds today, sitting on the bench, and yet Indiana has come out with a purpose.
Jazzy Davidson, the shot off the mark. She went to follow her offensive rebound, and that led to the open take by Kyaku. Sprinting out. Nobody is going to catch her with that speed.
Smith back in for USC. Caffey back in with the 2 fouls. Roshatite will go to the free throw line. The junior out of Lithuania. On again, off again, starter for USC.
SC has a lot of youngsters. She is one of them, also a freshman, or excuse me, listed as a junior, but the first year at the college level.
Right. You can count on Indiana teeing it up from beyond the arc with really good efficiency, and Makaleski just missed that 3 ball there. Back rim and off again, one and done. Caffey wants to push. She's going to go ahead, Elise.
The first field goal attempt of the game for Kara Dunn, who has been as automatic over the last 10 games as any player in the conference. They need to get her involved offensively.
Big black by Davidson. She releases and scores. Both ends, Elise.
The defense leading to offense. I think USC on the perimeter might be the best defensive team in the Big Ten when it comes to pressure and dictating, with Kennedy Smith, who's on the ball right now, Jazzy Davidson with the length and her block shots, and then Malia Samuels on the floor. They are a really tough group to score against.
Smothering defense inside. On the run. Another deuce at the cup. There's Dunn. And you can feel the defensive intensity just rise to the occasion.
Boy, Kennedy Smith, how good are you defensively? I love what she brings to the table on that side of the ball. I was talking to Courtney Jaco, a great Trojan who's now on the coaching staff. It was her scout today against Indiana. She talked about the length and the strength, and this is in full display. Look at her length, not giving any room, and then the strength on the block shot. It's a volleyball middle blocker, just pushing up. And then Jazzy Davidson, one of the best shot blockers in the Big Ten and in the nation, and it leads to an open deuce on the other end. And when SC is playing at their highest level, it is their defense dictating and being aggressive and taking the ball away and then getting high percentage shots on the other end in transition.
USC already with 3 blocks. Smith has one of them, and you look at the numbers defensively for USC, pretty impressive.
Well, and it is their pressure and how much it wears teams out physically and mentally at the guard spot. I mean, you can switch anything if you're USC defensively at the guard spot. And then Kara Dunn is 6 feet strong. She can guard 1 through 5. It's just a very difficult team to find holes in with the pressure, and there's almost another steal from Jazzy Davidson. Her length at 6'2", and it's really funny because You know, she started this season surprising, I think, herself in how many blocks that she could get at this level. And she said, it's funny, I was talking to my mom, and, you know, defense wasn't the strength of my game in high school. Like most players, it's the offense, but she's figured it out quickly under Beth Burns and the USC coaching staff.
So Samuels picks up that foul, her first, third team foul. I mean, you look at Dunn and Smith and Davidson, and you know they're going to carry quite a lot of the freight offensively. You have other players pitching in, but they were big against Illinois. Now they're starting to get on track tonight.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time for Kara Dunn. She is playing at a really high level, and if you haven't been paying really close attention over the last 10 games, Kara Dunn is averaging over 22 points per game. She has absolutely taken her game to the next level. She had to come in and learn this system. She's the transfer from Georgia Tech. She's very experienced. Was a good score all ACC a year ago at Georgia Tech, but you know, in a lot of ways, she's a freshman too, just learning a brand new professional type of offensive system.
Smith tries to follow her own miss, not there, under a minute to go. You look at a player like Dunn, and when you look at conference numbers, they're higher across the board. So kind of what you said, over the last 5, 6, 7 games on a heater. Okay, Beaumont, a good three-point shooter, nobody closed.
She's the second leading scorer on the season. She's gonna have a big game. That's a nice sign for her to hit from long range.
That's just a frustrating miss right there for Laura Williams.
Well, what a quarter for Indiana. 22 points on the board. They are a fast starting team. They have jumped out to first quarter leads and halftime leads multiple times this season. This is what they do, but boy, on the road without their leading scorer, this has been a really impressive start.
Look at Caffey! Oh my goodness! Keeping that dribble alive and then scoring high off the window. Nevaeh Caffey.
Boy, just slicing up the USC defense off the bounce. You see the pressure. She beats Davidson and then just goes all the way with the offhand. Minnesota not ranked. They're top 10 in the net rankings. They're top 5 in the Big Ten standings in a conference that is absolutely loaded. I mean, this is going to be the week. I'm putting the prediction out there that Minnesota and the Gophers are going to be knocking and finally getting into the top 25 standings.
All right, second quarter underway. You saw the balanced scoring of Indiana in that first quarter. Look at Jazzy following up her own miss.
Yeah, that time following her own shot worked to perfection. She got burned the last time she did that. She didn't come up with the O board, and it was Kyaku racing to the other end for the layup. But Jazzy that time timing that rebound to perfection.
USC led 7-2, and then Indiana ends the quarter on a 22-6 run. Second quarter, Jazzy trying to lead the rally. 4 quick points from the freshman.
Wow, Jazzy Davidson, that is an explosive take. If you don't shatter her left hand, you give her that much ability to get to the rim, she's gonna absolutely burn you. And now she comes away with a turnover.
There's the steal, dish to the running teammate Smith. Davidson doing it all.
Well, we have seen the formula for USC in this game is their defense pressuring, disrupting, and then getting out and scoring in transition. It's now 6 fast break points for SC. And the points off turnovers. Jazzy, look at her eyes up, scanning, unselfish. She could have taken that herself. Instead, dishes it off to her backcourt mate, Kennedy Smith, for the easy bucket.
Davidson with 27, 8 and 8 against Illinois. Nearing double figures again, what you would expect from the front-runner freshman of the year candidate, Jazzy Davidson. Doesn't look like a freshman, doesn't play like a freshman. That ball is just ping-ponging around to beat the shot clock. Noyan not there. Mendez, who's checked in, is going to give it up to Smith. Dumping it inside. Missing inside. Oh, Iwuchukwu has got to be thinking, give me that one back.
Everything was working on that possession for SC. Quick ball movement.
Yeah.
You just the shot off the mark from Iwuchukwu. That's a play that you'll take every single time down. You just want a better result.
So 6 quick points by USC unanswered to start the quarter. What does Indiana have to do to get back to that balance?
Well, they just have to take care of the basketball. It is the pressure that has gotten into their face and been disruptive. They haven't been able to get clean looks at the hoop. And SC's defense can wear on you. If you don't take care of the ball, if you expose it at all, they're going to take it from you.
Hiaku with the ball, starting for the injured Chesky. Leading scorer in the Big Ten, sideline with an ankle injury earlier today at shoot-around. And Noyan, clutch hoop.
Yeah, that was a high-level move, turnaround fadeaway, and she's coming off a double-double, one of her best games of the season against Purdue, and that win for Indiana. The big rivalry win. They were looking for revenge. They got payback. As part of that 3-game winning streak for the Hoosiers.
Here's the deal, though, with Noyan. She has that double-double, but fouls out for the 6th time this year. She has got to stay on the floor today. Jazzy, rimming out, basket didn't want it. Ball up for grabs into the hands of Caffey. Catch, shoot, way short on that shot. I don't know, maybe that might have been tipped, not sure. Or was it just a Beaumont air ball?
I think Beaumont tapping her chest. I think that she just got sped up. I think that she knew that she had a little bit of space, but you better get that shot off in a hurry or it's going to get blocked or deflected. And I think she just sped up a little bit and her timing was disrupted.
Coming off the curl, dumping it inside. Again, tough at the rim. Iwuchukwu not there. Wow. Hiaku's got a different gear.
Yes, she does. She has the ability to just put that pedal down to the metal and blow by the defense. And she's had success. I think early on in this game, you step into some big shoes to fill in place of Shea Chesky. And she already has been playing well. You see the last 2 games, up in her production to 6 points per game in her role off the bench. Well, she's come out, she's already got 5 on the board right now with another free throw due up.
8 points is her season high, and you mentioned the great success she had in scoring at Duquesne. And you see the speed if she can get to the cup.
And I will say they didn't put that free throw up, so she's now up to 7 points. So we're blowing past her season average, which this is exactly what you needed from her today.
Catch, shoot, triple, done. Put that one in the books.
Yeah, Kara Dunn, she was fading away a little bit and able to knock in that 3 ball. Her versatility this season on display in her final season of collegiate basketball.
Leads this club in made threes, that smooth stroke. Let's see if Indiana can answer. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nice job to just recognize Beaumont that she had a little real estate.
And I love it because she airballed the last 3. She tapped her chest, said, my bad, and then she comes right back and just nails the next shot. No hesitation at all. Shooters shoot it.
So that foul is going to go, I believe, against Indiana. It'll be against Noyan. So that was away from the ball. USC will inbound it underneath. Look at that. Uh-oh. Stepping out of bounds, though. Trying to get tricky. Didn't work.
Wow, and she almost had an absolute open layup. But stepping on the out-of-bounds line will turn it over. And Indiana, an 8-point lead here in the second quarter.
Mendez guarding Caffey. I mean, Beth Burns told us Mendez will guard the opponent's point guard. I guess so. Off the pick, short, nope. That was a floater from Makaleski. How about Indiana continuing to respond, Elise?
Well, they are showing no fear of the pressure of SC. They are taking the Trojans off the bounce.
And Davidson with the kind roll. just understands separation and space, doesn't she?
Well, she's got such a flow to her game. It just looks graceful. And that one, the soft touch when she got into the lane, stopped, popped, and it rolled in home.
10 points now for Davidson. Back rimming off is Beaumont. Nice little offensive rebound by the 5'7" Kiaku. Not there, and here comes USC. If you're gonna get the Trojans, at least you better get them this year before Juju and a incredible recruiting class comes into the Galen Center.
There's no question that SC has got a lot of talent that's going to be suiting up next year. But Girda Roshatite, the first-year player for SC, putting that jumper in.
32-26, 4:15 right here left to go in this second quarter. A fat Indiana run to end the first gave them the lead. USC's defense starting to show up now. 6 on the shot clock. High off the glass, not there. Good inside position by Smith. She'll lead it up. Jazzy, jab step. Nice job, Beaumont. Boy, I like this redshirt sophomore Beaumont. Didn't play last year with the injury. I like her game a lot.
She's improved dramatically, averaging over 13 points per game, almost 5 boards a game, and leads the Hoosiers in assists with over 3. Just does everything for Indiana. A young player.
Oh, what a pass inside. Easy deuce coming for Indiana and Noyan, but that was all Kiaku.
Boy, she is really off to a great start. Little bounce pass in traffic.
Mendez. They're going to give her that shot, Elise. Good offensive rebound. Roshatite. Davidson will reload, putting on the brakes, fading, and scoring. My goodness, Jazzy.
Oh, that was so nasty. Jazzy Davidson with her offhand, stopping, turning around, hitting the fadeaway. And who's got legs right now? Still no whistle for the 5-minute timeout. We have played for a long time with no break.
Jazzy with 8 points this quarter. Jump ball will finally, mercifully, let these players go get some water. Okay, Jazzy, we see ya. We see ya.
Wait, Jazzy Davidson, hesitation, fakes this way, fade away, have it nestle home, the shooter's roll, and then Kiaku. Look at this pass, bouncing it on a game that's in the 80s or close to it tonight. Two clubs that can play some lockdown defense, but I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, but I think I didn't know what to expect from Indiana without their leading scorer and their third leading scorer and their leading rebounder unable to play today. But boy, what a start by Indiana on the road against a very talented USC team. They have showed up to play, and everybody, filling in for some big shoes.
Trying to force it up, Noyan, the good defense underneath. So to remind you, no Shea Chesky rolling her ankle at shoot-around this morning. She'll, of course, be back, but Soka Guman, 2 seconds on the shot clock, out for the year. Lower leg injuries. Reverse not there, Noyan. Picking up the pace is Samuels. Now Davidson. Samuels, floater. A lot of black jerseys grabbing that thing. (34-28), 2:05 left to go in the second quarter. Stowe time, back rim and off.
Indiana missed. It was Roshatite stayed a lot too long on the hedge. It was an open player for Indiana.
Another floater from Davidson, and that is with a little contact and in traffic.
It's a shot that she's going to be able to make that when she gets into the lane. Because of her length, she's got the soft touch and scoring it on the move. Sometimes players will leave it heavy because of your body momentum, but she's so good at being under control on the move.
14 points now for Davidson. 6 on the shot clock for Stotine and Indiana.
And right there, they need it. They can hit the roller. Noyan is open with the hard hedge, and that's 2 times in a row. They're just a bit late.
It's a really good three-point shooting club, Indiana, but you're right. The high percentage look would have been with the rolling Noyan. Williams checking back in. Rosha Tite will have a seat. USC's defense really amping up in this second quarter. Indiana can't believe that Smith wasn't booked for the charge. Instead, it's Makaleski picking up her second foul.
I think it's a good call. I think that Makaleski was still moving. And who initiates this offense right here? I mean, not set. Her shoulders weren't square. I think it's a pretty easy call.
Number 2 on Makaleski, and to the line is Smith. She had a heck of a game against Illinois as well. 27 and 4, 6 blocks, and 2 steals for Kennedy Smith, just a sophomore.
I was surprised her career high was 20 points, but you know, USC really missed her. She missed 3 games earlier this season. All 3 were losses for USC as they extend their pressure. She's a huge difference maker for this club. And they're just a completely different team when she's available.
Boy, in trouble is Beaumont. Jump ball, and the arrow favors USC. Tag team, baby.
Kennedy Smith, if you put that ball anywhere where she can grab it, it's gone. And she just getting her mitts in there to tie the ball up. And that's smart right there. London Jones was trying to get instructions from Lindsey Gottlieb, and Kennedy Smith aware enough not to just pass it in when London Jones wasn't watching. You see turnovers on that, yelling at her, making sure she knew the ball was coming.
Dumping it inside. Jazzy finds Williams for an and one.
And all of a sudden, we are tied up. Indiana at one point led by 11, and SC has worked it back. What a dime, Jazzy Davidson, not just a scorer, a creator, and getting the ball to Laura Williams, who's had some really nice moments recently. Another freshman doing work for SC this season, getting lots of experience and getting better as the season has progressed.
USC with its first lead since 7-5 early in the first quarter. More heat coming, all kinds of open looks, but when you're swarmed like that, you can't find your teammates. Morin is livid, trying to call a timeout, and I don't think the officials heard her, but she perhaps called it in time. Yeah.
Terry Morin. And she does have a right here to be, you know, as an official, you got to look at the coaches right here. When you're in coffin corner, this is the worst spot to be trapped, because you have the half-court line and the sideline. But you see Jenna Cross very adamant. She looked over, glanced at it, glanced at Terry Morin, and she said, yep, timeout. Timeout, not a 5-second call. She's one of our best officials, did everything well there. I think the frustration for Terry is that they didn't get that timeout a little bit earlier, but they got the timeout. No harm, no foul.
Again, you mentioned the fact that it was an 24-13, yes, 11-point lead for Indiana to end the first quarter. Has it been USC's defense or a combination of defense, offense, Jazzy Davidson?
Well, the 9-0 run over the last 2:45 has been because of their defense, the pressure, and it just, Indiana has looked uncomfortable, and it has allowed SC to get out and run. They've got 6 fast break points. It feels like more.
To beat the shot clock, and how is Makaleski? Good if it goes, London Jones! How about Makaleski nailing that 3 to beat the shot clock?
It's an excellent job. Once you get through the pressure, you will have some open players, and Makaleski planting her feet, putting her hands up, say, feed me the basketball. I'm hungry for a three, and she knocked it in. And that's a big play to break up that long run by SC.
It's halftime here in LA. Our score, 37-35, Indiana with the lead. We'll recap the first half and more on the halftime report. Stick around. Juju, just the Pied Piper, huh? Man.
Well, very cool for somebody that grew up in Watts to be able to go to a school, take him to the Elite Eight. Obviously, she tore her ACL last year, and she's in rehab. Saw her this morning at shoot-around, and she says, I'm feeling good. I've turned the corner. Still won't be cleared to play for a while, but said she's working on her pace. But what an opportunity for her. I mean, that's stuff you dream about. The Sierra Canyon High School product. Grew up in Watts, great family lineage. Her grandfather, very well known in the community. Her great-grandfather, rather. Ted Watkins, who moved there after escaping a lynch mob in Mississippi when he was just 13 years old. So much family in Watts. To be able to then be able to give the shoes away to your former high school and your teammates and everything. What a full circle moment for Juju. Just an amazing opportunity for her and for this community.
And she's just getting started. And so is the third quarter and second half. We are underway. 37-35, Indiana with the lead over USC. The Trojans had a brief lead in the first quarter, brief lead in the second quarter. They've got a chance to tie or take the lead here. USC has won 4 straight. Indiana has won 3 straight. Elise mentioned it, Indiana battling to just get into the Big Ten tournament, while USC is looking to stay muddled in the middle. I think that's what you said. I love that line. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to remember it. Extra
it's always
shots.
the first for everything.
Time after time, shot after shot for USC. They had 3-4 different cracks at it. Did not score. Now it's Indiana's turn. Can't say enough about these Hoosiers playing without the great Shea Chesky, rolling her ankle at shoot-around this morning. Conference's leading scorer sidelined today. 5 on the shot clock. Trying to keep that dribble alive is Beaumont. Got to put it up now. Way short.
Beaumont felt like there was some contact, did not get a whistle. But SC is going to come out after halftime, and they're going to try to put the pressure on even more. They went on a deep run, or a long run, because of that pressure in the second quarter, and then there's Jazzy just turning the corner to draw free throws.
So Kathy picks up her third. Not good news for Indiana, as she's been dynamic for the Hoosiers so far. She's going to have to sit, or nope. Morin's going to keep her in. You look at Kathy, she needs to be on the floor, I think.
Yeah, well, she's got the 5 points, and she's been so good for the Hoosiers recently. Had 16 points, a career high at Northwestern, hit 2 big threes, then followed it up with another double-figure performance and scoring 11 points versus Purdue. Hit another 3-ball. And she's been active rebounding, 11 rebounds for Kathy in the last 2 games. They need her on the floor, not just because of the lack of depth, because of injuries, but because of her production. So a freshman is going to be trusted with the 3 personal fouls. And a lot of time left in this game to stay on the floor and stay clean in the foul department.
Kathy, one of many Hoosiers to foul out in games.
And they had the post up. She was there. She had London Jones, the smaller defender, on her, but they didn't see her.
Boy, that's just tough journey for Journey Kiaku. She runs right into Kennedy Smith. So we'll take a quick timeout. Indiana with the 37-36 lead. We're early in the third quarter here in LA.
With 3 seconds to go, asking for the timeout right here. You see the trap on Kiaku. She's down there. And so Indiana here in this one-point game will only have one timeout remaining for the rest of the game. And credit the pressure of USC. Multiple timeouts have been burned for Indiana because of the pressure. They're trapped. And to avoid a turnover, they've had to use those timeouts.
Wow. And Noyan picks up her third foul. Remember, she has fouled out 6 times. Only 7 games this season for Noyan has she played with 2 fouls or less. She gets into foul trouble a lot, fouls out a lot.
And it's something that she cannot afford to do. Zania Sokaguman not there to provide the minutes. And so they really need her on the floor.
Zania, the transfer from UCLA, and we're going the other way as it looks like Beaumont is going to pick up that foul.
And the pressure again causing the turnover on the offensive foul. Jazzy Davidson's length getting out there and forcing the turnover.
Smith misses. Williams rebound. Triple done.
Boy, give credit to Williams. She bounced off up, grabbed that offensive rebound, and then kicked it out. One of the best plays in basketball. You miss a shot, you O-board, and then spray it out for a 3.
Here comes USC, and that's the way you run it. What a nice cut by Mochilovebasket. She's going to go to the line.
Great backdoor cut. Reading the defense, just slipping right in front. The face cut against Dunn. And then she circles all the way in with her strong hand, takes the contact, and looks for the 3-point play. Every time SC feels like they're going to pull away here on their home floor at the Galen Center, Indiana has had an answer.
Mochilovebasket has really had herself a game. Misses the free throw. But boy, Indiana needed that hoop. Dunn, by the way, picked up her 2nd foul on that last infraction. Turnover. Boy, just unlucky for Beaumont.
But good transition defense. Beaumont was trying to get out and get an opportunity without the defense set. SC is so hard to score against when they're set. Beaumont trying to speed up the pace and get down there, but again, USC just did not allow her to turn the corner for a bucket.
Dunn teeing up the 3. Tough luck there. Rattled around, spit out. Here's Caffey. It's really good defense by Dunn, but Caffey keeps the ball and dribble alive. There's the high pick, didn't want it, Caffey. So Dunn picks up her 3rd personal foul.
A huge development because of the way that Kara Dunn has been playing. 22 points per game over the last 10. She has been on a heater.
So 3 on Dunn. 2 team fouls. Here's Jazzy. Long ball, Jones. And here comes the speedster, Hiaku. Boy, she's quick. Can't get the kind roll, and Jones wants to lead the charge. Indiana so close to tying this thing up. If you're looking for Shea Chesky, you'll find her on the bench for Indiana. The league's leading scorer, rolling her ankle earlier today in shoot-arounds, will not play. All those 30-point games, all those 20-point games, and here's Indiana hanging tough. Oh, Jazzy. Ball stays with Indiana, or excuse me, USC. What a move.
Jazzy, $1 million move, spinning, losing the defense, just couldn't make that shot, but you see part of the skill set for Jazzy Davidson, and USC still gets the ball back.
Yep.
As that last touched by the Hoosiers.
Stotine checking in for Indiana. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Smith and USC. Oh, the strength of Kennedy Smith.
Yeah, that was absolutely just bullying her way. If you can't step in front of me with my strength, I'm going to the rim.
6 points now for Smith. She usually gives you about 11 a pop. Indiana, let's see if they can answer a near turnover. Still 7 on the shot clock. Makaleski tried to keep it alive. Instead, here comes Samuels. Turning the corner and scoring.
Oh, look at her right there, almost taken away. Yes, she does. She avoids going out of bounds.
Indiana averts disaster, but still USC looking at its largest lead of the game right here. So Davidson picks up that foul, her first, third team. Come on back, USC starting to pull away.
And they're going to punch into the top 25.
A projected 12 teams to make it to the NCAA tournament, at least, just like last year for the Big Ten. USC at the moment projected as an 8th seed when you listen to some of the experts, and they're looking to climb up.
And it's interesting, SC with a net ranking of 20, they have 4 quad 1 wins. They have the second most difficult strength of schedule in the nation. They have had, you talk about a gauntlet in Big Ten play, their non-con was also a complete and total just power search, trying to pick up some victories. We saw Jazzy Davidson early in the season really show what she was capable of when they got the win against NC State, and she was fabulous in that game, had 21 points, 5 blocks, the game winner. But I think SC, there's no question they want to get off the 8 line. Nobody wants the 8-9 line, so in the second round, you're playing a #1 seed. So another reason why this game is crucial for SC to just keep stacking up wins and move up in those seeding predictions.
Davidson toes the line, hits the first of 2. She's a 76% free throw shooter. The lefty, 1 of 2. Moments ago, Makaleski commits her 3rd foul. So there are 3-4 players for Indiana dealing with foul trouble right now. Makaleski being one of them, their leading scorer.
And for USC, Kara Dunn has spent some significant time on the bench now with her 3 fouls.
Running the floor and scoring is Smith. Indiana needs an answer, just a bucket, just to get him feeling a little better about things. They led by 11 to end the first quarter. They led by a singleton to end the half. But the third quarter has been a USC juggernaut.
The score here in the third quarter, 13-4. USC has outscored the Hoosiers. And so I think for Lindsey Gottlieb, she's going to be content having Kara Dunn sit as long as this lead stays, but that'll help Indiana.
Beaumont, huge triple. Again, this young Indiana team. So many new faces, so many pups.
Beaumont was on the squad last year, but had to redshirt due to a knee injury. There she is grabbing the rebound. It's so nice to see her back healthy and playing a big part of Indiana's season.
Like the idea of Beaumont going all the way to the rim. Just a little short. Here's Jazzy stepping through. Jazzy!
That Euro step is just about impossible, especially when she takes the 1-2 to her right hand. As a defender, that's so tough.
Samuels corrals the pick. Samuels to the rim! Oh! Malia wanted that amble.
She was on the ground, face first, kissing the hardwood and smiling. She gets knocked down. She was just waiting for that ball to roll into the bucket.
It took about 10 seconds.
Jazzy right here, left to the right, and then finishes with her left hand. As a defender, you are caught. You don't know which way that she is going to go.
Samuels, the 5'6" junior out of Seattle. On again, off again starter, but what she does for Coach Gottlieb is just give them that depth at the guard position.
Well, Beth Burns mentions about her on-ball defense. You saw her just extend the pressure, nearly come away with a pick in the previous possession. She just is a player with a relentless work, denying and applying just disruptiveness to the USC defense.
Mendez playing the good defense on Caffey. 10 on the shot clock for Stotine. There's Samuels, an elite on-ball defender, as you mentioned. Turning, shooting, and scoring clutch. Noyan. Indiana hanging around. Noyan now with 8, well over her seasonal average of 5. That shot blocked, kind of up for grabs, into the hands of Indiana and Makaleski. And here comes Caffey. She's going to leave it. Samuels is going to be called for that foul, her second. 5th team foul. You cannot overstate Indiana's effort tonight, Elise, without the great Shea Chesky rolling the ankle earlier today and shoot around. The fact that they have hung around with a lot of heart.
Well, I think rebounding has been huge for Indiana. They're only 2 down in the rebounding category. And that is why they've been able to hang around in this game. This is a very good three-point shooting team. They've made 5 threes as Indiana, but on 15 attempts. They've been getting their production in other ways. They're finding ways to score off straight line drives, in transition, and so they're right in this game on the road at the Galen Center.
Mendez, the transfer from Washington State. They're going to give her that shot. USC with the 14 fast break points. A lot of those coming in this third quarter. What a dish inside. Man, Kiyaku making that play happen, and the lead is down to 2 for USC.
Kiyaku's speed has been a difference maker for Indiana. A brilliant job of play making. Watch her just take off, turn the corner, draw the defender. The help has to come to her. She'd have a layup, and she just hands it off for a wide open layup for Noyan. That's one for Noyan. She's gonna look right at her and be like, thank you very much. I'll gladly take the 2 points. I mean, because that was all Kiyaku on that play.
Kiyaku starting for the injured Chesky. And how about Noyan? Against Purdue, she comes up with her first double-figure game since the middle of December. Has a double-double in that game. So she has just been ice cold in the double-figure department, and now 2 straight games, hitting 10 or more.
And I think she's got a really good skill set. She comes from Sweden, where she grew up, and she played on the Swedish youth national team, won the U18 Nordic Championships. She's got a very good feel for the game, and she's got good size at 6'3" with her skill set, able to turn and face and hit hers. And she certainly is a player that looks to be experienced. She started her career at Virginia, spent 2 years there, first season with Indiana. But 6 assists, 5 boards, 10 points.
That's impressive line right there. Noyan, on again, off again starter. Remember, she's fouled out 6 times this season, playing with the 3 fouls, but she's done a good job of staying out of further foul trouble once she picked up number 3. So $1:27 left to go in the third quarter. Jenna Cross trying to explain what the heck is going on out on the floor.
I think it was a substitution of maybe a late sub by Lindsay Gottlieb's. If you don't get to the scorer's table in time.
Dunn, I think, was hoping to check in, but we're going to inbound it. And here's Samuels. 1:20 left to go in the third quarter. USC up by a deuce. Indiana more than hanging around. Looked like the Trojans were going to pull away in this quarter, but Indiana has found some life and some scoring. Thought that might be an illegal pick. Instead, it'll go against Stotine, her third personal.
Stotine. She had her mouth wide open. She could not believe that call. Like, what? What happened? So she's got 3. Kathy, Mikuleski, Noyan, all now in some foul trouble.
Big time. And it's a short bench for Morin anyway. Soka Guman has been out for a little bit. She's out for the season and has missed some games with the lower leg injuries. And of course, Chesky not able to go with the rolled ankle. Good hands and the finish. Honor Keister Noyan continues. Oop, excuse me, Mikuleski.
What a great job running the floor, beating the defense down there, and a dime from Caffey on point.
16 points for Mikuleski. Her average is 8, and there's the answer. All the way down and beating everybody is Kyaku. You take it out of the bottom of the net and you sprint.
I mean, she has really showed off her athleticism. She is moving at a Lamborghini pace, and everybody else looks like a Ford Escort.
8 points was her season.
Moving.
Excuse me, Elise. 8 points, her seasonal high. She's got 9. Uh-oh, Caffey picks up number 4.
So watch after the make. One dribble up, and then it is a layup. That's a layup drill for Journey Kyaku, the senior guard coming in from Duquesne. She, as we mentioned, 13 points per game last year at Duquesne, a different role at Indiana. But she can fill it up, and she's showing that speed is hard to contend with.
Rosha Tite hits the first one. Junior out of Lithuania gets them both. All right, shot clock is off, game clock a smidge under 16. Here comes the USC Heat. 5-second violation. Indiana couldn't get it in bounds.
And remember, they have just one timeout remaining. You could not burn it there in the third quarter and have none left for the fourth. With the pressure from SC causing the havoc.
Noyan just missed getting a call on that one. Here's Davidson with 10 seconds to go. High pick is going to come. And now done. Jab step, ball on the deck. Really nice job by Mikuleski. Looks like Williams is going to pick up that foul, her first. Good D.
It was a moving screen by Williams. She's shaken up, taking some time to get off of the ground. That was a big collision, and she was just trying to set a screen for Dunn with the time dwindling down in the third quarter. Williams comes up. You have to be set. Oh boy, that hurts. Nobody was embellishing that contact.
So that'll do it as far as the third quarter is concerned. USC opening up a nice little lead until Indiana comes back. All right, Noshea Chesky out tonight with the rolled ankle. Averages 24 a pop, leads the conference, and yet the Hoosiers bring a ton of balance scoring.
A lot of youth out there. I love what Mikuleski has been able to do, doubling her season average. She's had some big plays, some rim runs. But Noyan continues her solid play as of yet, coming off a double-double against Purdue, and she's back in double figures. Beaumont is in double figures, knocking on her season average. Journey Kyaku making her first start of the season in place of Chesky, and she's really impacted the game with her speed in creating for others the assists, and then as well as calling her own number. But 5 assists for Kyaku to go along with her 9 points.
The graphic we just showed you, not a single player premiering for Indiana in that graphic list played for Morin last year. Not a single player.
That was excellent defense by Stowtime. Really stepped up to the challenge of Smith.
Fourth quarter underway, and boom, just like that, Makaleski buries another triple.
Boy, she came in shooting 36% from deep, and she'd already put 42 in, and she has been really good tonight. 3 made threes.
USC just does not quit on that play, and Dunn scores. USC reclaiming the lead. Noyan was open for a minute, and then the ill-timed pass turnover, and here comes Davidson. Full head of steam, dumping it inside. That's the way you run it. Smith didn't bring the ball down and scores.
She got the mismatch. As much as the speed for Kyaku has made an impression on this game, she is undersized on the post against Kennedy Smith, and Smith made her pay.
Amen, and Davidson saw that. That head was up, and she couldn't wait to find her pal Kennedy. Ball on the deck. Makaleski will go to the free throw line with a chance to go over the 20-point mark.
Jazzy Davidson, look at this pass. On the move to her right. Gonna drop that in the bucket over the top of the defense and before the weak side help can get there. It's a tough look on the lob. Jazzy makes it look easy, and Kennedy Smith says, I'll take that bucket, using her strength at 6'1" on the block.
Makaleski, now with her 4th 20-point game of the season, makes 1 of 2. Her season high is 22. She has come to play tonight. 61-58. We're early in this 4th quarter. Back rim and off for Williams. Boy, lucky break. Kyaku had lost the handle. Indiana retrieves with plenty of time on the shot clock. Stowtime playing her best game of the conference, that's for sure. 8 now on the shot clock. Phoenix, the transfer out of Arkansas, nowhere to go and throws it away. The breaking London Jones, she'll go to the line. Kyaku joins the party in the 3-foul department.
Boy, the foul trouble for Indiana really is going to have an effect now. 4 for Caffey, but 4 other players with 3 fouls. So nobody right now can afford to be overly aggressive and reach or try to block shots, because you have to have players able to stay on the floor.
London Jones making waves when she announced that she was coming across town, transferring from UCLA her entire career as a Bruin, and she'll finish up as a Trojan.
Now the native of Riverside, California, staying in the SoCal area, just moving across the city. Sometimes it takes longer to get from Westwood to SC than it does probably to get to another state, but it was in her final year of eligibility here at SC, where she wanted to have a bigger role.
Beaumont picks up the dribble. Noyan doesn't want much to do with it, and the travel's going to go against Indiana. Kind of a broken play for the Hoosiers.
Well, it is getting down to crunch time. A 5-point USC lead. The turnover starting to mount for Indiana. That has been the one area. This is a very good shooting Indiana team. The turnovers have hurt them throughout the season.
They average 15 and a half turnovers per. They're at 14 right now. There's the jump ball.
And I think that Jazzy Davidson, fortunate not to be called for the travel. She just mishandled the ball, says my bad as she's getting up, it happens. But that easily could have been called a walk.
You look at points off turnovers for USC, they got a bunch of them, 17, and then fast break points, the other category you got to look at, advantage USC.
Well, SC has done what they do. Their MO is to get out, pressure UC, close enough to touch by London Jones, pushing up and just trying to make Kathy uncomfortable.
Great job by Kathy. Just would not be deterred by the physical play of Jones. Her second. Team's second. Kathy, the freshman, has been fearless.
Kathy gets London Jones on her hip, and I think she's fortunate. I don't think there was a lot of contact there. And she would lost her balance already. So I think heading to the free throw line, a bit fortunate. London Jones frustrated. But she calmly sinks that first free throw. She says, I don't care if I got fortunate or not. I got to make these free throws and keep us in this game.
Makes them both. Kathy, again, this young Hoosier club. And you like the trajectory of Kathy as you look at her numbers, pretty solid. In conference play, even better in this brutal, rugged Big Ten conference.
She is a champion, won 4 straight Missouri Class 6A titles, so she knows how to win.
Stepping back, the strength and the touch of Kennedy Smith.
I love that shot right there for Kennedy. Just taking her time, using her strength to get to her spot in the mid-range.
Boy, just nowhere to go. Good defense by Dunn. Smith now with 13. 3 in double figures for USC. And again, it is Kathy deep and scoring.
I love that move for the freshman point guard. 5'10", good size. That is post footwork down in the paint to just wheel around the defense for the open look.
You mentioned 4 state titles for Kathy. That is incredible. 139 straight wins in high school, a national record. Oh, Jazzy waiting in the weeds for that. She'll go to the line. Boy. Another steal for the great Jazzy Davidson.
Just baiting the pass right there. Just hanging out, saying, oh, I see this one coming. And then explodes into the passing lane to take it away and draw a couple of foul shots.
Noyan, I believe, picks up her 4th.
It's pretty amazing this freshman season for Jazzy. The 18 points and 5 assists. She missed all of October, the training camp for SC with an illness. And you miss that time as a freshman when you're trying to learn not only your teammates and the new offense and where you need to be defensively and fundamentals. She's out for a month with an illness. You would have no idea watching Jazzy Davidson that she was not totally 100% when she came and started this season.
And she records, does Jazzy, her 10th 20-point game of the season. But again, Indiana not going quietly in the night. Davidson with the 20 points. Just easily rare graphic. Look at this.
Well, you got Jazzy Davidson, you got Breanna Stewart. Who was she? Oh yeah, 1st overall pick in the WNBA draft. Janelle McCarville out of Minnesota, 1st overall pick in the WNBA draft. Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. We're talking about elite company with those numbers.
Again and again and again.
I love that work. I love that work by Laura Williams. Don't be frustrated, Laura. The redshirt freshman at Tampa, Florida, and the daughter of Doug Williams, who was the amazing Super Bowl winner with Washington. A lot of players would be frustrated. It's just not going in, and she's seen pressure. She's, in the middle of a congested paint, and she just kept going.
Starting the last 3 games for USC, had 3 cracks at it. Misses them both. And the ball belongs to USC on the hustle play by Dunn. That's where Indiana's just kicking itself for letting that one get away. 67-64, Trojans, 1 possession lead. Episode presented by Allstate after the game on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Nice curl cut by Smith on the out-of-bounds play out of the timeout, and now a steal.
Another steal. Dunn keeps it alive. The defense by USC just wears you out, wears you down. Samuels elevates. Wild shot. And finally into the hands of Kyaku and Indiana. Foul is going to go against the Hoosiers. Samuels really slow to get up, and Kyaku will foul out. Starting for Chesky, she has been outstanding, but she is gone.
And this might be elevated because the foul was to the face. The elbow was up into the chin area of Malia Samuels.
That play is under review for a flagrant.
Regardless, Kyaku will foul out. Starting for Chesky, 9 points, 6 boards. She stands at 5'7" tops, and she had the 5 assists.
Watch the left arm right here. Boom. It gets Malia Samuels right in the chops. Pushes her back. I think this is going to be elevated. And yes, while Kyaku is going to be fouled out no matter what. Oh man, they're both moving full speed. What this will do is give a couple of technical foul shots if it's elevated on the flagrant one.
USC already making a living at the foul line, 20 for 27. That's the most free throw attempts in conference play for the USC Trojans. Their season high is 39. Both coaches wanting to hear the final verdict.
So the foul trouble really becoming a problem for Indiana. Not only does Kyaku foul out, but Caffey has 4. Noyan has 4.
The offensive foul on black number 7 has been upgraded to a flagrant 1. That is also number 7's 5th foul. USC will receive 2 shots and the ball at half court.
You could read Morin's lips, that's terrible, but upgraded.
I think when Coach Morin sees that on the slow motion in a depending on the angle, you couldn't tell if that was embellished or not, and it was not embellished. It's certainly from Malia Samuels. She got an elbow extended into her chin. Nothing, and I'm so glad that we changed the language from last year where it would have been called an intentional to a flagrant. And the flagrant is just if it's excessive, severe, or extreme contact, not a legitimate attempt to make a play on the ball. And so anytime you get contact to the head and the face, it's to protect the players from that kind of upward motion with an elbow. So a couple of free throws, big for SC. They extend this lead to 7.
With 4:15 left, Backroom off another offensive rebound for this USC team. They have been relentless on the boards. Will they chase down another one? No.
They had a clean look at it, and it would have been a real dagger to Indiana, but 7 points manageable here with 4 minutes still to go. For Indiana, they're going to have to start getting stops and buckets here with the time and score together becoming a big factor.
Samuels picks up the foul, her 3rd, team's 4th. 14 offensive rebounds now for USC. They've hit the boards hard, especially on the offensive end. They've scored in transition. They've created steals. They've blocked shots. Their defense has been suffocating. A near turnover for Indiana. Stepping into the 3. Wow, and 1. Makaleski gets hammered as she lets go of the 3 ball. She'll go to the line for a 4-point play.
The definition of a pressure defense. High risk, high reward. It was nearly a turnover. Instead, it winds up a 4-point opportunity. A huge turn in this game after the 2 shots on the technical.
What a game for Mochilovebasket. A season high now for the freshman out of Fishers, Indiana. 24 points. Coming off a quiet performance against Purdue, she has come to play in the absence of Chesky, matching Shea's usual output per game. Wow.
It's a 1-possession game.
And bobbing, weaving, carving is Davidson again to the line for Jazzy. Nobody wearing black can handle her.
And that will be the 5th foul on Noyan. So 2 Hoosier starters now disqualified.
Noyan with 12 points, 8 boards, 6 assists, and for the 7th time this season, the junior out of Sweden fouls out. She's been huge, but oh, heartbreaking for her to sit on the bench the last 3:38.
It's just so hard. Jazzy Davidson coming at you full speed. She's gonna make it so tough on a defense to get in her space and get in her way. She has an innate ability to draw contact.
Davidson has been to the free throw line 8 times. She's 6 for 8 from the charity stripe. Samuels, ball up for grabs, saving it, is done. Samuels looking for help. Crazy play. This place is going to come unglued if you hit the 3. But Smith back rimming off.
Great hustle play again by Malia Samuels. Just causing chaos with her pressure.
But Indiana dodges that bullet as USC unable to score on the long ball. If you're the Hoosiers, can you answer here with the bucket? Stotine just runs into Samuels' jump ball. Possession arrow favoring the Trojans. Samuels, my goodness.
Just watch her here read the ball, get in there. You expose the ball, I'm going to grab it. And Samuels with the tie-up, and it will go USC's way. What a turn there in a 5-point game. Samuels has just sped up Indiana's ball handlers.
Davidson cannot score, grabs her own miss, keeps it alive. USC wants the timeout.
So USC now will have 2 timeouts left. Indiana just 1 in this 2-possession game. A big game for USC because of what it means for the Big Ten tournament, for the NCAA tournament. They've got 4 quad 1 wins. They're 4-9 against quad 1 wins. They're on a 4-game winning streak that started against top 10 Iowa here at the Galen Center. But they want to continue to stack up wins because if you're a projected 8 seed, according to Autumn Johnson, you don't want to be 8 or 9. You want to be anywhere else in the NCAA tournament than 8 or 9 because you face that #1 seed in the 2nd round.
Strength of schedule. Man, USC has darn near taken anybody on, huh? And you look at what Indiana has done, perfect from the field in terms of 4 for 4, but all of those turnovers.
It's high risk, high reward. If you get it through that press, you're gonna get a high percentage look. But the 8 turnovers have really just been trouble for Indiana's offense.
2 on the shot clock. A chance for Indiana to score a huge bucket on the other end, but here comes the USC pressure. You look at Kathy playing with the 4 fouls. She has got to stay on the floor. Mochilovebasket has got to get looks. Wiseman on the floor now for Indiana. Got to get it across that timeline. Kathy waves everybody off. Boy, that was close. Woo! Wiseman wheels. Makaleski, she's been hot and continues. Oh my goodness. Maya with another triple.
Makaleski is having herself a ball game. 27 points. It's a 2-point game.
My goodness, Makaleski now with 27 points. Easily her career high.
She went off against Northwestern, 21 points, had 4 made threes. She is blowing by those numbers, and every one has been needed. 9 made shots, 6 boards.
2025 Indiana Miss Basketball Gatorade Indiana Player of the Year. The freshman staying home. And Samuels with a huge free throw for USC. She's perfect from the line. Stays perfect, 4 for 4. Those were big. 75-71, a buck 40 right here left to go in this game. And it has been an incredibly fun game, even without the great Jay Chesky. Short on that shot, Makaleski. And if you're smart, yep, you bring it out. If you're Samuels, the clock is in your favor. Foul away from the ball is going to go against Stotine.
And she will be disqualified for the 3rd player in this game to pick up 5 fouls. Boy, Stotine, Noyan, Kiyaku, all having to sit and watch. Just really difficult when you're already down your leading scorer, the Big Ten's leading scorer, and Shea Chesky and Zania Sokaguman not there. Boy, Indiana running on fumes right now.
Spreen checking in for the first time. Terry's got to go to somebody. Spreen. Wow, that ball just taken away and kept alive. What a play by Smith. Gottlieb is saying bring it out.
100%. Time and score, run the clock. It's your best friend right now.
1 minute left. USC fans are up. It's a 6-point lead for USC. And finally, Williams is saying, I get the first one home.
Yeah, she's been just pounding the glass, doing work on the board. She's got 9 rebounds and now 5 points to go with it. You love giving your post player a little sugar after all that hard work.
Busted play for Indiana. They don't have time to take a lot of time, and bailed out. The foul is going to go against Jazzy. Her 3rd stops the clock.
Kennedy Smith. Wow. I mean, this is why she's one of the best defenders in the nation. Just taking it away, and then Williams doing her part, rolling to the hoop, putting it in. But Kennedy Smith, if you want to know why USC struggled for that stretch, they didn't have Kennedy Smith in the lineup. She means so much, just the grit and the hard work. A defensive menace out there setting the tone for SC and taking the other team's best score.
Let's take a look at the Trojans' remaining schedule.
Wisconsin has been playing good basketball. They will be here at the Galen Center coming up next. And then Ohio State, I'll tell you what, you watch the Cambridge sisters, their speed matched up against SC's backcourt. Get your popcorn ready, and for Indiana, it only gets tougher. They'll be at number 2 UCLA coming up on Sunday. Hope that Shea Chesky is back and ready to go for Terry Morin.
And again, this is an Indiana team.
Tournament just right around the corner.
Indiana trying to get in, make sure they're in the Big Ten tournament. USC has already been to the free throw line 35 times. So this will do it. Indiana ran out of time, ran out of bodies, a game effort by the Hoosiers, but USC, you listen to the crowd, will prevail.
That's a gritty win, and that's the way that SC has been winning this season. Gritty wins, doing it with their defense. The rebounding for SC, they end up a 38-32 rebound advantage. So for SC, that's how they do it.